As all of you are aware, just a couple of days back, we had the occasion of the Guru Purnima. Each culture, each civilization has its own peculiar traits, features, and while there are many common features, but some are unique. In Indian culture, there are some words for which you will not find any equivalence in other language. The first is Guru. You have teacher, you have Acharya, you have preceptor, you have many others, but there is no absolute perfect synonym for Guru. Similarly, there is another word Darshan. For Darshan, there is no exact equivalent. So, Guru, the institution of Guru in Indian culture is not only very ancient but also occupies a very prominent place. And most Hindus are familiar with the word. They may understand different things by it, but the term is known to all Hindus. There are some famous verses about the Guru Mahima, the praise of the Guru, with which most of you would be familiar. One is that famous verse, Shloka, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara. Guru Sakshat Param Brahma. The Guru is the Supreme Brahman. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. This is a very well known verse. There is another equally profound but not so well known, not so oft quoted. That is Gukara Andhakarasya Rukarastasya Nivaraka Andhakara Nivaritva Gururitya Vidhiyate. The word Guru comprises of two parts, Gu and Ru. He says Gu stands for darkness, ignorance. Ukara अंधकारस्य रुकारस्तस्य निवारक और रू का मतलब है कि जो अंधकार को रोक दे अंधकार निवारित्व अंधकार को हटा देने की वजह से वो गुरु कहलाता है बिकॉज ही रिमूव्स द डार्कनेस latent in us, latent or even manifest. The other is also, he says, अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. He says, अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य, a person who was blinded by the darkness of ignorance. The Guru, वो ज्ञान की सलाख और रॉड, गुरु ज्ञान की सलाख नहीं, वो सलाख ज्ञान के सुरमे में डुबो के आंख से जो पास करता है और आंख को खोल देता है, इसलिए वो गुरु कहलाता है. Ajnana Timirandhas. Timir is darkness. Ajnana is knowledge. Andhasya is blinded by. ज्ञानांजन शलाकया, ज्ञान की सुरमे में सलाख को डबो के ऐसे जो पास कर दे, तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Normally, the institution of the Guru, generally, is equated with some sort of a Father Christmas. That is, by the Guru's grace, this happened, that happened. Guru की कृपा से ये हो गया, वो हो गया, etc. But generally, all the link between the manifestation of the Guru's Kripa and what happened is generally some sort of worldly gain, some sort of secular thing, that there was some problem and you invoke the presence of the Guru and that problem got resolved. But this is a superficial view. Today I will dwell on the role of the Guru in the life of the sadhak, not a person who is leading a purely worldly life, who is consciously aspiring in sadhana to achieve a higher consciousness, who is making a conscious effort. This श्लोका, इसकी मैं थोड़ी बैकग्राउंड भी देना चाहता हूँ. You may in the third quarter of the 19th century, there was a gentleman. His name was John Woodrow. John Woodrow was a lawyer, bar at law, but because he was interested in Indian spirituality, he decided to come to Calcutta and practice in Calcutta High, John Woodrow. And in his spare time, he studied Sanskrit and Tantra and the various scriptures and all. And he is very famous for having written books on Tantra, the serpent power, etc. But those books that he wrote under a pseudonym. He took a name, Arthur Avalon, but actually it is John Woodrow. And John Woodrow later on, because of his contribution to acquainting the West with Indian Tantra, he was also knighted. Sir John Woodrow. He was knighted. Now, if you see, those are monumental works which he has written on Tantra Vidya. If you see the jacket, the front page, and it is prominently written John Woodrow, Arthur Avalon, वो तो लिखा है. उसके नीचे in small print is written Pramath Nath Mukho, written in collaboration with my esteemed colleague Pramath Nath Mukhopadhyay. John Woodrow on the front page has acknowledged the contribution of Pramath Nath Mukhopadhyay. So I will first briefly tell you about Pramath Nath Mukhopadhyay. Pramath Nath Mukhopadhyay was a brilliant intellect, and Sri Aurobindo has talked in his letters about the liberated mind. You see, the liberated mind is the intellectual development after some time reaches a stage where it becomes like a high-powered pneumatic drill. उसको कहीं भी दबाओ वो अंदर घुस जाए. In other words, such people, they are experts in many subjects. They are called polymaths. Bertrand Russell is an example. And from logic to mathematics to social science to literature, educationist. To some extent, Pramath Nath Mukhopadhyay also was a liberated intellect. In those days, marriages took place very early, and I think he was married at the age of 15 or 16. But unfortunately, or whatever, his wife died, and then he didn't marry. And the rest of his life, he devoted himself entirely to such pursuits. He didn't enter the domestic world, and he remained a sort of intellectual reclusive. and he is a great master of Sanskrit, and he has written verses in Sanskrit. And also, now coming to the specific point, if you are familiar with Shri Aurobindo's life, he was the secretary of the Maharaja of Baroda in Baroda, and then he was also the principal of the college which has now become that Sayaji Rao Baroda University. He was the principal at that time. And eminent people were his students, like K.M. Munshi. K.M. Munshi was Shri Aurobindo's student when he was principal. Now, and then Shri Aurobindo, in order to involve himself more in the freedom struggle, he shifted base from Baroda and he came to Calcutta. And in Calcutta, he started the National College. He and some others, and he was the principal. Pramathnath Mukhopadhyay was professor of mathematics in that college. He was his colleague, but junior to him, he was principal. And later on, because of his intellectual and other attainments, his name was changed from Pramathnath Mukhopadhyay to Pratyagatmanand Saraswati. That became, he adopted that name. And Saraswati is a title bestowed on people who have vast and deep knowledge of Sanskrit. Dayanand Saraswati is. So Pramathnath was professor of mathematics in National College. And there was a meeting, once there was a sabha of all the assembled faculty members. And he has written, he says, I happen to be sitting near Shri Aurobindo, next to Shri Aurobindo. And Shri Aurobindo was lost in deep thought or meditation or whatever. And sitting beside him, I suddenly felt from within as though he is an incarnation of Lord Shiva himself, Shri Aurobindo. And he says, I looked at him and I had that strong feeling. And I said to myself, Oh Aurobindo, and I said, address him silently, Oh Aurobindo, when will you reveal yourself? Then Shri Aurobindo shifted from, the rest of it from Bengal, he shifted to Pondicherry. But there is a very famous poem by Rabindranath Tagore on Shri Aurobindo, Tomae Pranam Kori, I bow down to you. Tagore has written on. In the same way, Pratyagatmanand also has written a long poem in Bengali paying tribute to Shri Aurobindo as a devotee. So he didn't join the Pondi ashram, he was wedded to the Tantric Vidya, but he was a great devotee of Shri Aurobindo. That is why I have deviated into this thing so that there is a close association between him and Shri Aurobindo. Now, as I said, mostly the, what would I say, unsophisticated notion about a guru is that by his grace you are able to lead a happier worldly life. But Pratyagatmanand, and yes, mind you, I don't know when, if at all, it will materialize. But I propose to start a new series on Shri Aurobindo's life, divine, etc. For that also, I will take great help from Pratyagatmanand's monumental work, The Fundamentals of Vedanta Philosophy. It's a fantastic book. So anyway, he and Shri Aurobindo both differ from Shankaracharya. They are not Mayavadis. Anyway. So Pratyagat, so as I said, but in this verse, Pratyagatmanand says that the role of the Guru, like in those shlokas which I quoted, that he removes darkness, etc., he is the dispeller of darkness. In this verse, what Pratyagatmanand will say is something unimaginable. He says that the Guru or the sadhak is such an important person that his influence is equal to 5 avatars. Alone, he does what otherwise 5 avatars would do, have done. Yes, he does alone. And we'll see that. This verse is in that famous Sanskrit meter called Mandakranta, that famous poem of Kalidas, Meghdut, that is written in the Mandakranta Chand. Now you see, क्या कहते हैं, how he says एक सिंगल गुरु 5 अवतारों के बराबर, भारम कर, दिस इज द मंदाक्रांता मीटर, भारम कर्मान पितमति गुरु घोरतादि प्रवृद्धम मग्नामूर्धीमिव पयसि यो लीलयाप्युद्दिधीर्षु बीजं दत्ते श्रुतिपथचरं वर्चसे चात्ममन्थं क्लेशव्यूहश्चित् कुरुमखभृत् श्रीगुरु पंचमूर्ति. First he compares the Guru to the Varaha avatar. Varaha is the wild boar. So in our ancient texts, Puranas, etc., there is the story that this world got submerged in an ocean of darkness. पृथ्वी डूब गई थी और अंधकार का सागर इसके ऊपर आ गया था. It was inundated. At that time, Lord Vishnu took birth as the Vara, the boar, और फिर उन्होंने पृथ्वी को तार दिया. कैसे? अपने दंत की नोक पे, वो वरा बोर के 2 शार्प होते हैं, उसकी एक की नोक पे उन्होंने पृथ्वी को फिर अंधकार के सागर से ऊपर उठा दिया. अब गुरु का इससे क्या लेना? इसे सिमिलरली जब साधक साधना के पथ पे चलना शुरू करता है, तो the first thing that happens is he is overwhelmed by defeatism. वो पढ़ी है ना, मैं मूर्ख खल कामी, ये फीलिंग आई कि मैं इतना पाप में डूबा हुआ, मैं कैसे योग साधना कर सकता हूँ, मतलब there is no hope for me. At that time, the Guru, like that Vara avatar, cancels the load of the past karma which was weighing down on the sadhak. उसको जो दबाए हुए था, गुरु अपनी कृपा से उसको वैसे ही कैंसल कर देता है जैसे वरा अवतार ने पृथ्वी को ऊपर तार दिया. So he says कि इसमें जो ब्यूटी है, he, in other words, by cancelling the load of that karma which was pressing him down, he makes the sadhak's spirit again buoyant, and he can start with a clean slate. That karma is not dragging him down. इसमें जो ब्यूटी है इस श्लोक में, इसे भारम कर्मार्पितमति गुरु, कर्म के पास कर्म के द्वारा अर्पित अति भारी जो कर्म का वेट बोझ है, वो गुरु लीलयाप्युद्दिधीर्षु, वो उसको कैंसल कर देता है खेल खेल. कहने का मतलब है फॉर द गुरु टू कैंसल द लोड ऑफ पास्ट कर्मा, बाएं हाथ का खेल. This is the beauty of the verse. भारम कर्मार्पितमति गुरुम घोरतादि प्रवृद्धम. इट इज वास्ट और घोर है, उसको डराता है, दबाता है. पर गुरु की कृपा लीलया बुद्धिधीषु मतलब ऊपर उठा देने वाला. खेल खेल में वो उसको ऊपर उठा दे. So this is the first role of the guru in the life of the sadhak, that he cancels the load of the disciple which was otherwise weighing him down, of past karma. It was creating diffidence in him. He rebuilds his confidence. भारम कर्मार्पितमति गुरु घोरतादि प्रवृद्धम मग्नामूर्वि डूबी हुई पृथ्वी की तरह लीलयाप्युद्धिधीषु खेल खेल में ऊपर ले जाए. बीजम धत्ते श्रुति पथचरम. दिस इज नाउ द नेक्स्ट अवतार इज द मीन अवतार, द फिश. उसकी कहानी यह है कि अगेन वो वेदास वर ड्राउन्ड इन इग्नोरेंस एंड दे वर under threat of being submerged and destroyed. At that time, Lord Vishnu took the birth of a fish और उन्होंने वो वेदों को अपने मुंह में रखा सुरक्षित. और जब वो पानी नीचे आया, then he again gave the Veda to mankind. Similarly, the Guru, he keeps inside him the बीज मंत्र which will liberate the disciple. बीजम धत्ते श्रुति पथचरम. कैसा बीज जो उसको वेद श्रुति के पथ पे आगे ले जाए, which will take him forward on the path of the prescribed path of the scriptures. बीजम धत्ते श्रुति पथचरम वर्चसे चात्मवंतम. फिर नेक्स्ट अवतार. बट the guru is not in a hurry to give the beej mantra. He waits for the disciple to be ready to receive. Just as when the water came down, then the fish gave out the mantra, the Vedas. Similarly, the guru keeps in his custody safely and waits for the disciple to become ready to receive the mantra. And untimely giving also will go waste. It might be counterproductive. Bijam dhatte shruti patacharam varchase chatmamamtam. This also is, this refers to that Ksheer Sagar mantra. जब भगवान विष्णु ने मोहिनी का रूप धारण करके वो जब अमृत निकला उसमें से, समुद्र के मंथन में से, तो उन्होंने चालाकी से देवताओं को पिला दिया और असुरों को नहीं दिया. Similarly, now this is the beauty. The Guru, normally our expectation from the Guru is that he will make our life smooth and easy. If necessary, he can bring about a churning inside you also. Just as भगवान विष्णु वो चर्निंग हुई और वो क्षीर सागर में से कई कुछ निकला. सो ही सेज वर्चसे चात्म मंथम. वर्चस वैदिक संस्कृत में कहते हैं ज्योति. वर्चसे चात्म मंथम, वो तुम्हारे अंदर मंथन करता है जिससे कि तुम्हारे अंदर से फिर फाइनली ज्योति निकले. इन अदर, और if necessary, he will subject you to the trials and tribulations of life, so that ultimately spiritual light may come out of that whole journey. In other words, don't always expect that the Guru will only make your life a bed of roses. This is the point. It can have the opposite effect also. And in fact, mother used to say sometimes, once or twice what happened, not of the ashram, but there were mother and Shri Aurobindo and many devotees outside the ashram. So one of them, his daughter got married. So he requested that his daughter and his son-in-law be allowed to come to the mother for blessings. Now the blessings that they expected were what? A very harmonious, happy conjugal life. Mother gave the blessings, but then later on she said to her secretaries, don't give my blessings for this purpose. It might have the opposite effect. Because if for that person's spiritual need, breaking up of that marriage is necessary, then my blessings will have that opposite result, not the result that you expect. Am I clear? Varchase chatmamantam. Klesh of vyuhaschit. क्लेश क्लेश इज डिफिकल्टी. कभी कभी आदमी अपने जीवन में हर तरफ से क्लेशों से घिरा हुआ एंड दे बिकम सो इंटेंस एंड पावरफुल that they block his spiritual progress because he is badly involved. As Vivekananda also said, it is a sin to preach the Vedanta to a starving nation. So, in other words, even to practice that Vedanta, you have to have some basic minimum uh, fulfillment of basic needs. So, he says, क्लेश व्यू है चित. तो कभी कभी जब गुरु ये देखता है कि शिष्य क्लेशों के व्यू से बिल्कुल घिरा हुआ है और बाहर नहीं आ पा रहा, फिर वो नरसिंह अवतार की तरह खंबे को चीर के बाहर आता है और उसका पाथ क्लियर कर देता. You know, in these foreign countries, in USA and all, when there is heavy snowfall, then they have early in the morning, they have snowmobiles. They clear the highways so that the traffic can move through. This is what the Guru, as Narsingha Avatar did for his disciple, the Guru does for the Shishya. He clears his path for spiritual growth. क्लेश व्यूहर्ष. गीता में भी भगवान कृष्ण ने कहा योगक्षेम वहाम्यम के मैं अपने भक्तों का योगक्षेम मीन्स वर्ल्डली वेलफेयर. इन अदर वर्ड्स, आई डोंट अलाउ माई disciples to land into such difficulties, worldly difficulties, that practicing spirituality becomes impossible. योगक्षेमम, फिर उसके बेसिक नीड्स की का भार मैं अपने ऊपर लेता हूँ. जस्ट असाइड, ये योगक्षेमम वहाम्यम LIC ने अपना मोटो बना दिया कि मतलब अगर तुम टाइम से प्रीमियम देते रहोगे तो LIC तुम्हारे सारे जीवन का बोझ अपने ऊपर ले. जैसे भगवान कृष्ण ने अर्जुन को आश्वासित किया, सिमिलरली. बट एनीवे, क्लेश व्यूहश्चित कुरुमख भृत श्री गुरु पंचमूर्ति. कुरुमख, मख कहते हैं यज्ञ को, कुरु कहते हैं महान, महान यज्ञ का भरता. तो कहानी यह है कि दिस नाउ रेफर्स टू द वामन अवतार, द dwarf. The story is कि राजा बलि was a very powerful king, but he was the king of the nether world, Patal Lok. His guru was शुक्राचार्य. तो एक बार वो राजा बलि ने एक यज्ञ किया with under the guidance of शुक्राचार्य. तो जो देवता थे ये बड़े घबरा रहे कि अगर ये लाइक दैट अश्वमेध यज्ञ, अगर ये यज्ञ सक्सेसफुल हो गया, ऑलरेडी बलि इज वेरी पावरफुल, then he will conquer all the three worlds and we will have no place to for as refuge. So they went to Lord Vishnu and they said, okay, help us, otherwise we are finished. Now Shukracharya ji was a very wise man, shrewd also. So he knew that it is possible that Lord Vishnu will in some way to protect the devas, he will disrupt this yajna, कुछ अड़ंगा डाल दें. So he warned Raja Bali, you be very careful, be vigilant. But Raja Bali performed the yajna. When the yajna was over, a dwarf appeared. Vaman. Vaman is a dwarf. Lord Vishnu disguised himself as a dwarf and he says कि मैं ब्राह्मण हूँ, मैं तुम मुझे क्या वो दोगे आहुति. तो राजा बलि ने सोचा कि ये इतना सा बौना, ये क्या मांग लेगा मेरे से, और मैं इतना महान राजा बलि, आई कैन गिव एनीथिंग. सो ही एग्रीड एंड ही सेड, व्हाट डू यू वांट? He said, I want only land equal to 3 steps. So Raja Bali said, okay. So first step he took was on earth, heaven, and then on Raja Bali's head. He crushed his ego. And in fact, there was no space left for the third step. So then he asked, where should I put my third step? And then he put it on his head and crushed his ego. He offered it. Pardon? And he asked for the third step. He said, take my head. Exactly. It goes to the greatness of Raja Bali that he took it in good spirit. He accepted that in the right spirit and he was liberated, that crushed, because his ego was crushed. Here, in this context, Purumakha Bhrit. Purumakha Bhrit means one who takes charge of the great sacrifice. In other words, when you offer your life entirely to the Guru, he takes charge of your whole life. Like Lord Krishna is saying, Yoga Kshemam Vahamya. So, वो जो great sacrifice आदमी करता है, the ultimate sacrifice is of himself. He offers all of himself. So at that time, the Guru takes charge of the life of the devotee, just as the Vaman Avatar Crush took charge of that yajna. I mean, it's a sort of parallel, but we needn't argue it very closely. But the point is, so the role of the Guru is first canceller of the past karma, load of the past karma, which makes you defeated, which sort of shakes your confidence. Then he gives you the bead mantra which will take you forward. He does churning inside you so that ultimately out of that churning light may come forth. And then he clears your path when it becomes completely blocked by adverse circumstance. And then finally, he takes complete charge of you when you offer yourself fully to him. So this is so I'll just repeat the shloka. You can, if you feel like writing it, you can write it, but it's a little difficult, the Sanskrit. He says, Bharam karmarpitamati guru bhoratadi pravriddham Maglaurvim iva payasi yog लीलयाप्युद्दिधीषु बीजं धत्ते श्रुतिपथचरं वर्चसे चात्ममन्थं क्लेशव्यूहश्चिन् पुरुमखभृत् श्री गुरु पंचमूर्ति. श्री गुरु की 5 मूर्तियां 5 अवतारों की मूर्ति के बराबर. जैसे on a personal note, I will just tell you on a personal note, my father was a freedom fighter and then he quoted imprisonment in 1942. So आमतौर पे तो कैदियों से ये हार्ड लेबर कराते हैं, बट वो जो जेलर्स थे, दे न्यू के दे आर नॉट क्रिमिनल्स, They are fighting for a cause. So they would exempt them from any hard labor. And in fact, they would make the quota of work, chakki pisna and all. They would ask the hardened criminals to do it. And these people were left free. My father was, when he offered satyagraha, he was sent to a prison in Ambala. Ambala jail में भेजा. He offered satyagraha in Amritsar, but they arrested him and sent him to Ambala. अम्बाला जेल में पहले सरदार पटेल के बड़े भाई थे विठल भाई पटेल, उनको भी रख, ही वॉज ऑल्सो इन द कांग्रेस, उनको भी वहां लॉन्च किया था अम्बाला जेल, बट ही वॉज गिवन वीआईपी ट्रीटमेंट. He was a prominent figure. So for his sake, the jailers provided him with a library. Whatever books he wanted to read during imprisonment, they would order and bring it. So there was a well-equipped library in Ambala jail when my father went there. Vittal Bhai had gone, he had been released, but the library was there. So my father used to browse through that library and he came across these two books, The Fundamentals of Vedanta Philosophy by Pratyagatmanand and The Life Divine by Shri Aurobindo. So then he started reading both of them. And Life Divine, of course, is a fat volume. Pratyagatmanand is a slimmer volume. And my father liked it so much. He copied the whole book by hand. प्रिजन में तो फ्री टाइम ही टाइम था, तो उन्होंने वो कापियों में सारी बुक को कॉपी किया, बिकॉज he could not take that copy out of prison and he wanted to it to be with him throughout. Unfortunately, later on when he got released, I mean he lost that, he misplaced. Now see आगे क्या हुआ. He misplaced that copy and it was a lifelong regret that I have that copy सारी हाथ से लिखी भी 150-200 सफ़े की हो गई. Then he shifted to Pondicherry. I was a 3-year-old, then I grew up in Pondicherry. My Sanskrit teacher was a gentleman, Indu Roy. Indu Roy was a childhood friend of Subhash. सुभाष चंद्र वो एक ही मोहल्ले में सेम एज, वो इकट्ठे एक ही स्कूल में पढ़े बड़े हुए. In fact, he was to have sailed for higher education with Subhash Bose for London, but then it got cancelled. He was teaching me Sanskrit. So one day, it so happened he taught me this shloka, which I have discussed today. He taught me this thing, and he said this is by Pratyagatmanand. So I like the shloka. I mean, I would have been about 20 or so, 21, and I narrated it to my father. I went to home and told my father that this is what I studied in the class today, and it is by Pratyagatmanand. Then my father narrated to me his association with Pratyagatmanand, prison mein padha, likha, kho gaye. So I came back and told this thing to my Sanskrit teacher that my father is a great admirer of Pratyagatmanand, but he lost that handwritten copy. Now see the fun, how things work. There was a lady, she lived in Bengal, but she used to come, she was a regular visitor to the Pondi Ashram. Her name was Sudha Basu. She was very friendly with my Sanskrit teacher. So, and she was a follower of Pratyagatmananda also. I mean, Pratyagatmananda had a small setup, a small kind of ashram. She used to visit there often. And so my teacher told her this thing about my father's lost copy. She went and told this thing to Pratyagatmananda. And I have a signed copy by Pratyagatmananda of that. the fundamentals of Vedanta philosophy. He signed it for my father, and I have it. The other personal anecdote is that when I studied this shloka with my teacher, we came across that word varchas. Varchase chatmamam. And varchas means light. तो संस्कृत में एक वो होता है सफिक्स, इट इज कॉल्ड लसित. वो अगर कुछ कुछ वर्ड्स पे ऐड कर दो तो उसका मतलब बनता है जिसके वन हु पोजेसेस दैट थिंग. जैसे मांसलर मोटा, पेशलर मस्कुलर, तो वो लसित ऐड किया. तो आई टोल्ड माय टीचर दैट ये जो वर्ड है वर्चस, इस पे अगर ला ऐड करो तो नाम बन जाएगा वर्चला. वर्चला मीन्स वन हु possesses light by the same law of grammar. He said yes. So ये बात हुई, खत्म हो गई. That time I was in Pondicherry and I had no idea I would come out of Pondicherry, get married, have a daughter. But when she was born, I straight away gave her this name. Her name is Varchala. And she is very fond of that name and she is very grateful to, because see, it's not, firstly, it's not a common name like Pinky or something, and then it has a very good meaning, it has a beautiful meaning, and thirdly, it cannot be further abbreviated. The only abbreviation possible is virtue, which also is a very good abbreviation. So these are my personal anecdotes regarding Pratyagatma. But the श्लोक is a fantastic. एक गुरु 5 अवतारों का काम कर देता है.